Hello. Made a big frog with this big yarn. And I love that frog so much. And I want to make my own. I don't really know where to put this because I'm at my desk. Look how giant it is. I went to Michael's the other day and I got these because I want to make my big frog in these colors because this is my favorite color. I will be using this 25mm hook. I think you can hand crochet these, but I prefer the hook. And I will also be using felt for the eyes. So let's get into this. Of course, to be able to start this, we gotta open our yarn. And this is the most satisfying thing to do, in my opinion, if I can do it right. This side's too thick. Let's try this side. Okay, if I didn't hit my knuckle on the desk, it would sound a lot better. I look at the pattern. I am using my favorite frog pattern by Crochet Candyland. Like my Genevos lined up right there. That one is my first one. Yep, that one's my second one. This one combines the techniques of those other two, and that's my favorite Genevo. I should list it in my shop, but I'm kind of worried about how much shipping is going to be for it, so I might calculate that. And you might be able to find this in my shop. And if not, if you're local around Raleigh, we can do pickup. Okay, enough about my Genevos. Let's get this guy going. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to make this frog for myself for so long. Ever since I raffled off one. I've been eyeballing this yarn and I've been wanting to make one for myself, so we're finally doing it today. Do you like my little stitch marker that I'm gonna use for this? It looks a little ridiculous, but it's okay. It's been a while since I made a big plushie, so I'm a little rusty on how to best crochet this. Oh, that did not sound good. It's fine. It's my own, so it doesn't matter. I did not expect it to rip like that. Should I be worried? That was very violent. Should I keep going or stop? I don't know if it'll pull apart. Let me remake this and hope that it doesn't pull apart next time. It makes me worried when I don't see an end. So we're gonna retry. We're just worried I'm gonna finish it and then it'll all start falling apart. And we can't be having that here. So let's focus a little bit more. Carefully pull it through. There we go. I think it was just actually already at its limit and I kept pulling at it. We have our magic ring done. I don't know how much of this yarn I'm actually going to use. I think last time it might have been a whole skein. It is a lot of work doing this. I'm really putting like all of my body into this, or at least all of like my top half into this. Let's speed up until we get to the bobble stitches and then I will show you guys how I do that. We're back to make a bobble stitch. It gets super complicated. Whenever I do things in this much bigger yarn, somehow I always forget how to crochet. It gets really hard at the end to just stick the crochet hook. And see, this is what you end up with. And then let's finish this. Okay. We have one eye. This is always so hard to do. Normally it takes a bit to pick up the bobble stitch, It can be a bit tricky at times. I'm already feeling kind of warm from doing this. This is really an arm workout, honestly. There's an eyeball. And then just imagine this. I'm going to glue like a felt circle right here. It's gonna be so cute. So this is at the point where you would normally add the eyes, but we're gonna add those later because we're just gluing felt on them. But I just completed round 5. My arms are already killing me. We gotta keep going. I am determined to finish this tonight in the next hour and a half or so, depending on how long it takes me to do this. So let's keep going. Okay, bad news. I have almost basically completed this bobble stitch, but I don't have enough to complete it. We must move on to the second skein of yarn. So let me just say, this round has 4 bobble stitches and my arms are getting dead. So we're just gonna switch this out. Very disappointed. I really thought I would be able to finish this. Yarn is aggressive. Maybe I should just be doing this on the floor, or like not near anything else. So to switch this out, we're just going to do like a normal change. I'm gonna take the end here and just attach it. There's no color change, so it doesn't really matter what I do. And then we are going to continue this bobble stitch. Like that. And we're just gonna make a knot in here so it doesn't come out. Cut the excess off. And now we have started the second skein of yarn. I think this takes 1.5. Surprisingly, this is the same amount that Junimo takes, but I think the Junimo is like less rounds, no bobble stitches. Look at how big it is so far. Absolutely massive. We're almost done with it though. I finished the body, so now it is time to stuff. I have no idea how much stuffing this is going to take, but I'm going to take this and just put it in too. And then we gotta sew it up. But this is how big it is compared to my head. Then we're gonna make the eyeballs, and then we're done. This took a surprisingly short amount of time. Can you believe I made a dog bed out of this yarn? Like, my arm is dead just from making this. I don't know how my arm didn't fall off while making the dog bed. And that took like 5+ skeins of yarn. This is only 1.5. Added all of that in. This is a great way to use up stuffing. My stitches could have been a little tighter right here. I don't really, but just a little adjusting and some fluffing. It'll be fine. More stuffing is needed. None of my yarn scraps go to waste. I use every single piece either in projects or as stuffing. In that way, the stuffing won't deflate over time. We're almost full. Actually, I think I'm gonna call it like this so I can just give it some shaping. Ta-da! Okay, let's thread this. So I thread this with my hands because I don't have a needle big enough for this. Now I just gotta pull and hope it doesn't come apart like it did earlier. Ah, perfect. So the bottom is now closed, and the way that I thread it through is I actually take another one of my hooks a much smaller baby hook. And I just grab it and pull it through. This is actually how I thread and sew my Junimos, is I use a different hook to grab the yarn and pull it through. But obviously this isn't going to be as much sewing. Got a frog! I am actually very pleased with this. Before I did my giveaway with one of these at a market, I actually had this as decoration, and I've been missing my frog. I got a frog for decoration in here. I can bring this to future markets and be like, enter for a chance to win your own custom frog, and then I'll just have this as an example. So then I won't have to give away the frog that I want. So let's get making these eyeballs. I like to cut a square roughly in the shape or in the size of the eyes. That way they are even. This is always the most nerve-wracking part of this project, is making the eyes, because I'm not very good at cutting in a circle. So I got this ovally shape, which is definitely the wrong shape. So let's greatly trim this down. This is a better size. Wait, that's perfect. That's perfect. Normally I'm not that great at cutting the eyes. Sometimes I have my mom make them because she's better at like cutting circles. But I think this works. That looks pretty good. Even this will be used as stuffing. We are using fabric glue. We're going to apply glue liberally because we don't want this coming off. And then attach. Sorry you can't really see what I'm doing. I didn't want to fiddle with the camera angle too much and then not be able to do this properly. Okay, let me attach this. And when I glue this, I try not to glue too close to the edge, because otherwise when I press down on it, it will seep out and onto the actual yarn, which we don't want. Once I have it on and I press it on, I go in and add some fabric glue if needed around the edges, or I know there's no glue. Sorry, this wasn't really a tutorial on how to make this or anything. It was just I wanted to make this frog, and so here we are making a frog together. I just wanted to show off all the cool things that you can make with crochet, and that you don't have to limit yourself to one size yarn. You should experiment with different size yarn. One size yarn that I want to try, that I'm not going to because I don't think I have the patience, is that micro crochet. I do not think I have the patience to do that, or the eyesight. Okay, here's my frog. He looks, okay, I maybe should have made them a little smaller. He looks a little stupid, but he's cute. I hope you enjoyed this video of me making this giant frog. Maybe you'll try making your own giant plushies. You should. I highly recommend it. I might try making a giant appa at some point, so you might see that soon. Or a giant dino. Not this Totoro dino, but just a giant dino. So you might see some more giant crochet videos from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!